When the rescue divers emerged out of the water inside the cave at one point and turned on the light, they spotted the scared kids in front of them after being trapped there for 10 days. Both the 13 boys and the rescue divers were really pleased at this particular moment. These 13 kids were trapped for 10 days without food or water inside 5 kilometers of Thailand's Tham Luang cave. The parents of the football players who were suffering in agony outside the cave considered it nothing less than a miracle that any of them were still alive. They finally caught their breath after hearing this news. The news of the footballers being found alive had spread all across the world and everyone was joyful. But still, they had no idea how to get these footballers out of here. Welcome back to Facts Hub videos.
Dear friends, in part 1 of this video, you are aware of how 12 football players and their coach became trapped within Thailand's Tham Luang cave. In part 1 of the same video, you saw all of the obstacles that the rescue team faced from day 1 to 9th day. The kids were eventually found, but experts, physicians, and members of the rescue squad considered that this was the easiest part of the task. Getting these 13 boys out safely was far more difficult. The kids were given food and water, and a Thai army doctor was sent inside the cave who both examined the boys' health and bandaged them. The food and water the footballers had brought with them fell from them during the chaos, and they also sustained numerous injuries. However, their coach was the only person who helped save their lives for 10 days. They were surrounded by a lot of water, but it wasn't drinkable.
That is why when their coach told them that the water dripping directly from the cave's rocks was entirely pure, everyone obeyed and spent 10 days drinking the same water. The coach used to make the boys meditate every day to prevent negative thoughts from negatively affecting both their physical and mental health. On the other hand, everyone's attention was now focused on the authorities outside the cave, who had to explain the strategy for rescuing the boys. However, once a strategy has been established, they would be able to reveal it. The trapped footballers were youths aged 11 to 16, and they couldn't swim underwater like professional divers to get out of the cave. Therefore, a strategy for getting these youngsters out of the cave safely had to be devised. The authorities planned to drill an escape shaft from the top of the mountain to reach the cave. By helicopter, drilling supplies were delivered to the mountain's peak, where drilling operations began. However, it was more difficult than expected to excavate this Ferrari shaft.
Considering that this drilling could take a month to complete, also it was risky to keep the boys in the cave for the whole month. While all of this was going on, another issue inside the cave surfaced. Yes, the shortage of oxygen was detected there. Since the area of the cave where the football players had been staying for the past 10 days was a very small space and had water blocking both of its sides, our atmosphere typically contained 21% of oxygen. During the time that the cave's oxygen level fell to 15%, according to medical professionals, the human body becomes quite feeble when oxygen levels are below 15%. If this level falls by 2% more, these boys will die one by one. Although the issue was not immediately apparent, it was capable of having disastrous consequences at any moment. It was crucial to raise the oxygen level inside the cave. Hundreds of oxygen cylinders had to be hauled within the cave, which was a challenging task. To complete this task, Thai Navy rescue team carried oxygen cylinders one by one inside the cave.
The cylinders were then carried through the water to the trapped footballers. This strategy was working, but it proved to be deadly. Yes, Saman Gunan, a Thai Navy rescue diver, was headed there at 1 in the morning carrying an oxygen cylinder on the 14th day of the rescue mission when he unexpectedly submerged himself. When Saman's friend noticed this, he dragged him to Chamber 3 right away, where it was discovered he wasn't breathing. He was taken in an ambulance to the hospital, but it was already too late. Saman Gunan passed away while attempting to save the 13 youngsters. The rescue team experienced a surge of sadness as soon as they heard about the incident. It was also a warning sign for the youngsters who were trapped inside. As time went by, authorities began to feel more and more pressure to carry out a rescue. It was planned to keep the boys inside the cave until the monsoon rains stopped.
But this meant that 13 boys would be trapped there for the next 2 months. But they had to reconsider their plans since another alarm had gone off. When the Thai military received the weather forecast, the entire rescue team sat with their hands on their heads. The weather forecast said that Thailand would be hit by another storm the following week. The cave was already filled with a lot of water. If there is even a slight delay, the entire cave might become covered in water during this upcoming storm. The boys could only be rescued by water at this point. According to experienced rescue divers, the boys are young and will become frightened as soon as they enter the water. Then another incident like Saman Gunan might occur due to fear. The entire rescue crew then agreed on a solution that was offered for the rescue. Although there wasn't much time left, this option had to be used to extract the boys. July 10, 2018. This was the 18th day of the rescue operation.
Dr. Richard Harris, a cave diver himself, visited the guys early in the morning and started giving them anesthesia one by one. This anesthesia is used during surgery to put the patient to sleep. But in this situation, the anesthesia was to be administered in such a way that the boys did not fall asleep but their brains did not react to any fear or danger. Following anesthesia, the boys were fitted with full face masks. The face mask was made to prevent water from getting inside while still allowing for comfortable oxygen breathing. The rescue diver pulled the first boy out of the water. The hour-long underwater trip required the rescue diver to squeeze through 2-foot-wide passageways, which was not an easy task.
Due to the anesthesia, the boy was only partially awake and showed no signs of panic at the sight of the dark water. After 18 days, the first trapped boy made it to Chamber 3, where he was lifted to the cave's entrance by a high line and promptly taken to an ambulance. This strategy had been effective. Upon hearing this information, the parents were not spared and began shedding tears of happiness. They took all the boys one by one using the same strategy. A statue was erected in remembrance of Saman Gunan, who risked his life to save the boys, which is still there.
Hope you liked today's video.
That's it for today. Bye for now.